Ever heard about Mercedes spending $2 billion on a single car? It happened, and it was just the beginning of what happens when engineers are given a blank check and no supervision. In this countdown, we'll go over the most ridiculously over-engineered Mercedes models from the 1990s. Tank-like machines packed with gadgets no one asked for, sky-high price tags, and durability that makes most cars look weak. Let's dive in. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Picture this. You walk into a Mercedes dealership in the late 90s, looking for a comfortable E-Class sedan. The salesperson says, "We have something even better, a 600 horsepower race car that's barely street legal. Interested?" That's the CLK GTR for you. A car so over-engineered. Calling it a road car feels almost offensive. Mercedes didn't build this just to show off their engineering prowess. No, this machine came to life because of a racing regulation. The FIA GT1 series demanded that manufacturers sell 25 road cars in order to race. So Mercedes and AMG had to scramble. They whipped up this carbon fiber rocket in just 128 days. That's only 4 months to design, test, and build a car meant to win championships. But here's where it gets insane. The CLK GTR's 6.0-liter V12 produced over 600 horsepower, and it was naturally aspirated. No turbochargers, just pure mechanical brilliance. Although the car's brakes let it down in the first race, its engine never faltered, powering the CLK GTR to 6 victories in the 1997 FIA GT season. The road version? Well, it was a glorified race car with a license plate, cramped, uncomfortable, and with visibility that would make you feel like a bat. This wasn't your typical luxury sedan, but under the hood, it had the same level of obsessive engineering, carbon fiber, aerodynamic design, and a bulletproof engine. And oh, did we mention it could hit a top speed of 214 miles per hour? By the time it was all said and done, the CLK GTR made history, being priced at over $1.5 million, earning it the title of the world's most expensive production car in 1999. It wasn't just a car, it was a legend. Number 5. Mercedes-Benz C-Class W202. Now let's say you walk into a dealership in 1993 and think you're going for a basic entry-level Mercedes. You take a seat in the W202 C-Class and bam, you realize it's something else entirely. A work of engineering genius. The W202 wasn't just any compact sedan, it was a carefully crafted masterpiece, even though it was meant to be Mercedes' most affordable offering. This car was the successor to the iconic W201-190 series, a car so well built that Mercedes spent $2 billion on it. They knew the W202 had big shoes to fill, so they went all in on over-engineering. Take the interior. Instead of flimsy plastics or cheap materials like you'd expect in an entry-level model, Mercedes crafted switches and knobs that felt like they could survive for a century. Every button clicked with precision, every door closed with an authoritative thunk. And when do you hit the road? It wasn't just any old ride. The W202 felt like you were gliding in a high-end limousine, not a compact sedan. The quietness, the smoothness. It was as if Mercedes had turned driving into a therapeutic experience. Under the hood, Mercedes introduced the M111 4-cylinder engine, a bulletproof workhorse that took the place of the legendary OM617 diesel. While it wasn't fast, it was practically indestructible, and the M112 V6 was even more impressive, with 3 valves per cylinder and twin-spark technology. These engines could last up to 500,000 miles, and many still run strong today. The W202 wasn't flashy, but it was built like a tank, and it's a testament to how Mercedes didn't know how to chill when it came to building durable, reliable cars. Number 4. Mercedes-Benz SLR 129. The R129 SL was Mercedes' declaration of, "We have too much engineering budget, so let's go wild." Released in 1989, the R129 was designed by Bruno Sacco, who delivered a car that was as clean and sharp as it was timeless. It even won the prestigious Car Design Award in 1990 for its perfection. But what really made the R129 SL special wasn't just its gorgeous exterior, it was what lay beneath the skin. Mercedes stuffed this roadster with some of the most absurdly over-engineered technology the world had ever seen. Take the interior, it was more than just luxury, it was advanced futuristic comfort. comfort. The seats weren't just comfortable, they were orthopedic with memory functions, and even the headrests appeared to float, thanks to an innovative attachment system. The materials used were top-notch: leather, wood, and plastic so well made they seemed allergic to aging. Every switch and button clicked with an almost magical precision, and the car came with a removable aluminum hardtop and, if you were feeling fancy, a panoramic glass roof. Under the hood, Mercedes didn't skimp either. The R129 came with a range of engines, including the M119 V8 and the M120 V12, the same engine found in the Pagani Zonda. The 6.0-liter V12 was a monster that produced nearly 400 horsepower with the smoothness of melted butter. Was it necessary to drop a V12 into a roadster? Probably not, but Mercedes did it anyway, because why not? The R129 wasn't just a car, it was an engineering feat that still amazes today. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz S-Class W126. The W126 S-Class is the car people think of when they talk about peak Mercedes engineering. Produced from 1979 through the early 1990s, this car wasn't just about luxury, it was about creating the absolute best car in the world, regardless of cost. While most cars in the early 80s and 90s looked like square refrigerators on wheels, the W126 had a sleek aerodynamic design that still holds up today. With a drag coefficient of just 0.36, this car sliced through the air like a knife through butter, allowing drivers to sip coffee at 120 miles per hour without spilling a drop. When it came to safety, Mercedes went above and beyond. The W126 was the first production car to offer a driver's airbag, and ABS was standard. Seatbelts came with pretensioners that automatically tightened in the event of a crash. Inside, everything was precision engineered, from the leather upholstery to the switches and controls. Even the seats were orthopedic, designed to keep you comfortable no matter how long the drive. The W126 was available with a range of powerful engines, including the 5.6-liter V8, a smooth, reliable powerhouse that has lasted the test of time. This was a car built to go the distance, and it still does today. Number 2. Mercedes-Benz E-Class W124. If the Mercedes engineers were secretly preparing for the apocalypse, the W124 was their ultimate survival vehicle. Built from 1984 to 1996, the W124 was a car that proved Mercedes was in its prime when it came to over-engineering. There's even a famous video where a monster truck drives over a W124 wagon, crushing the roof completely flat, and yet it starts right back up and drives off. That's how over-engineered this car was. Mercedes took the W124 to the next level with a 5-link independent rear suspension system. Incredibly complex and not needed, but it made the car ride like a cloud at 100 miles per hour while still maintaining flat cornering like a sports sedan. The aerodynamics. The W124 featured a drag coefficient of just 0.30, a number unheard of for its time. The result was better fuel economy, higher speeds, and a quieter ride. Under the hood, Mercedes offered engines that were the stuff of legend, like the OM606 diesel, which is so strong, people take it out of old W124s and put it into trucks, boats, and drift builds. The W124 was the epitome of Mercedes' ability to over-engineer, and that's why it remains a beloved classic. Number 1. Mercedes-Benz S-Class W140. The W140 S-Class wasn't just a car, it was the epitome of over-engineering taken to its most extreme. Released from 1991 to 1998, the W140 was so over-engineered that it nearly bankrupted Mercedes. The company reportedly spent close to $1 billion on its development, drove prototypes for nearly 1.8 million miles, and wired the car with over 2 million feet of electrical cabling. The W140 was built to be the most technologically advanced luxury car on the planet, and it succeeded at great cost. What made the W140 special? For starters, it came with features that seemed like they belonged in a science fiction movie. Soft closed doors, double glazed side windows for near total cabin silence, rain sensing wipers, and self-deploying parking guide poles. It was the first car to feature an adaptive suspension that made potholes feel like mere suggestions. The W140 came with a range of engines, including the legendary 6.0-liter V12, which was a performance masterpiece, flexing on both BMW's 7 Series and Lexus. Despite being criticized for its size, weight, and price, the W140 became a turning point for Mercedes. After its release, the company began to reassess its focus on excess and started listening to accountants. But for enthusiasts, the W140 remains the last true S-Class. Over-engineered, complex, and absolutely glorious. These 6 Mercedes cars from the 1990s represent an era of excess and unbridled engineering brilliance. They weren't just cars, they were monumental statements of what happens when you give engineers free rein to create without limits. From race cars for the street to luxury sedans that could survive an apocalypse, these vehicles still hold a special place in automotive history. Which one do you think deserves the crown for the most over-engineered Mercedes of the 1990s? Let us know in the comments.